the thing I like to do is watch your body, because when you play that one part down in there and your body literally turns. Okay, you feel the whole thing.
He's riding it.
I hear that. That's a part of Scruggs' playing that really always did it for me. Was he was aggressive. He's playing. That doesn't mean you got to play hard or fast, either one, but his attack, I'll say, on the strings, and his approach to playing, whether he was playing a slow song 3/4 time or whatever it was always.
But he made it look so effortless.
He made it look so effortless. But you got to realize those guys worked 6 days a week for years.
Sure.
You know,
24 hours a day or something.
2 and 3.
I've ever seen.
It was just, he was incrable. He's still my all-time hero.
Yeah,
He's still the best, man.
Yeah.
Nobody told his case, in my opinion. He's just incredible.
Yeah, it's just the execution is incredible.
That's exactly right. And it still does it for me. I mean, today I can listen to it. If I get in a slump playing or music-wise in any way, I can put on Flat and Scruggs.
There's always something that pops out that you haven't heard before when you're listening to it.
Oh, it's just it's very rare you find someone that pretty much I don't want to say invented it, but he perfected it from the start. You know, his technique. You can look back at his right and left hands. Now we have these DVDs that are out, and these kind of things that we've looked at. Old videos for years now, they're perfectly clear and we can really watch them. The execution of his left hand and his right hand, the economy of motion that the guy used, it was right from the start. It cannot be better, you know, everything he did.
What's been interesting to me, because I'm probably at 15, 20 videos, and the players that are sitting here, when you
Talking about Earl.
They talk about Earl, and the other thing is it's the right hand attack. It's the economy of motion. There isn't a whole bunch of flogging and wasted time and space. Okay,
it's because we're all lazy. That's why we're playing the banjo.
Or probably
it's easier than getting real work.
But that's what separates the really good players from the average players.
I agree. That's the economy of motion. You got to think about getting from one place to the next.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
Was a master at that. I'll say Scruggs.
I harp on that with my students. I know they get sick of hearing it, but I'm just
can't say it
always
enough.
Economy of motion. You know,
exactly.
You got enough to do. Don't stack the deck against yourself by doing a bunch of stuff you don't have to do. You know,
exactly. Or stretching out too far where you can't get to where you need to be.
Yeah, don't put down this finger and pick it up when you're just going to have to put it right back down and leave it there.
Exactly.
Yeah, little things like that.
Exactly.
And don't
find the easy way to do it. Don't go looking for notes the hard way.
You don't have to get a 6-inch running start at the fifth string. You know, just right there. You know, that kind of thing.
Exactly. That's the main thing I see in Earl's playing was just, first of all, his taste was impeccable, his timing was impeccable, his tone. But then the choice of notes and where he got them and the way he got them.
Sense of melody.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. You know, and people always talk about that speculation on the, you know, the mahogany 75 and the trade and all the rest of it. You know, I always contend that he heard in that Granada
something special,
something that in his attack and delivery made the difference.
Right, and Reno always said that Earl always wanted to trade him that. He wanted that banjo, you know, for years, but Reno also said that at the time Earl didn't have a banjo that he was willing to trade for until he got the 75.
Right.
And, you know, they say that the Reno 75 was like brand new almost when he traded, so Earl definitely heard something in that Granada, and he definitely got it out of it. It was a good trade on his part, and a good trade for Reno, too. Reno really played that 75 and made it sound great. So I think it was good for both of them, one of those meant-to-be kind of things.
Yeah. And Don's approach with so much down picking, and the kind of guitar, because he was a flat pick guitar player.
He was great. He was great at it.
But in the times as I was growing up around Bean Blossom, when Reno and Smiley would be there, that particular banjo, all the way into changing tailpieces and thinning bridges and all the rest of that, Don always made the banjo sound the way Don made a banjo sound. That was his particular style.
And I find that here today with all these banjos out here, it doesn't matter if you know a guy's playing. It doesn't matter whether he's playing a Style 1 conversion or an original flathead 75. You still have characteristics of your sound.
Yes.
You know, you have to have a good banjo to play, but you also still have to be able to get what they're capable of getting out of them.
Sure.
For sure.
Cool.
All right, man.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
I told Jim we need to change the name of that banjo to the Jim Mills, brother.
No, it'll always be old Mack. ought to be Avery Aiken. It's got his name all over it, and his license number, and his social security number, and
I'm thinking maybe if you ever need to go underground, you can be Avery Aiken.
twice right there on the tone ringer.
That tells us something about the high level of trust back then.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those things that Earl did it, and all the guys who were
Right.
followers of Earl did it.
Yeah.
You know, Earl put his name on his banjo with an electric engraver. Let me get a nail and see if I can put it on.
Yeah,
mine.
that's right.
I remember when you got that thing.
When I-
You showed
Jim,
it
when
to
I-
me. We were doing someday.
I remember that.
With,
I remember that. I hadn't had it
you
long.
yeah, you had.
Got it right
about
when the
that.
Dolly Parton thing came
Yeah.
along. I was so happy that
Yeah.
I could do
Cool.
Thank you.
Thanks, Greg.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. I can't wait to see
Yeah,
all
these will
of
be cool. Hey Jim, I'll tell you a quick story. 1964,
Yeah.
my dad buys an RB3 arch top from Roger Smith. Okay?
Yeah.
And he gives $500 for it.
A lot of money.
A lot
for
of
it then.
money.
That's top dollar.
A lot of money. Original 5-string, but it had a leaves and bows board, but it had a fiddle cut peg head with diamonds and squares.
Well, I'll be done.
Well, as I was learning to play, I tightened the head down too much, and he said, my dad said, I'll buy the head, but you're gonna have to learn to change it. Okay, so I take it, and Larry Richardson had owned the banjo, and Larry always scratched his name into anything. So down in the valley of the arch top was Larry Richardson's name, and he scratched in 1957.
Man, I wonder if that's the banjo. I got a picture of Larry playing. It was a two-piece or one-piece flange.
Two-piece.
I got a picture of Larry playing a
Probably
two-piece
was.
flange. Then he had a head of some sort on it. Had his name on the head.
Yes,
Had his name on
that
the
was
head.
Larry doing
And,
those kinds of things.
In this same picture, Bobby Osmond's playing a D28 herringbone.
I got a 1938 Gibson bass right there. If anybody goes to play and you want to play, you're welcome.
If you look at it, if it's got a leaves and bows, if it's
It's
got
not
leaves and
diamond
bows,
snowflakes. It's not
no, it's not diamond
snowflakes.
snowflakes.
Standard like a mid-30s leaves and bows fingerboard.
Yeah,
I looked at it. I don't
but
think-
I mean, it's factory because of the rough cut and all the rest of
Oh,
that
yeah.
on the inlay.
I wonder if
power.
it wasn't sent back to the factory
That's
in
what
the
I'm-
30s and they put that because reason I say that is
Right.
Mack Crowe played a original archtop style 23 most of his career till he got this banjo.
Right.
And I've got a bunch of pictures from the family of Mack Crowe playing this banjo. Now early on in his career he's playing it with the diamond and snowflake inlay pattern
Okay.
of a two-piece flange
Right.
3 would have archtop. A little bit later, I got some more pictures that look like they're 10 years later. He's playing the same banjo. You can see the peg, it's fiddle cut peg head.
Right.
Diamond snowflakes up here, but in the fingerboard it's a flying eagle. That tells me he sent the banjo back to the factory by 1935, and just like in the 50s, when they replaced him with a bow tie, they replaced it with what was current of the day. It was a flying eagle. They stuck it on there, and that's the coolest thing.
Wow.
I'd love to find that banjo with a flying eagle board, and that'd be awesome. And it's original, factory. So that wasn't a new practice in the 50s to change fingerboards out.
Right.
They were doing it in the 30s, and that's more than likely what happened
Yeah,
in the 3.
wouldn't be surprised.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Really
They
does.
did it up in the 70s as well.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
What does yours have on
Pardon
it? What does yours have on it?
me? It had a leaves and bows board,
It
just
was
like
a 20s Model 3 two-piece flange with a leaves and bows fingerboard. So I figured it was set
yeah,
back in the 30s.
fiddle. And that little avatar that I've got of me when I was about 12 years old.
Oh, yeah,
That's
okay.
the banjo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the banjo.
You're not fixing it. Are you walking in front of your...
No, no.
Hey Jimmy, you were talking about economy and movement on Sally Gooden. Okay, he gets back down so quick.